Good morning, my friends. I hope you're having a good day. We're going to do story time again this morning. Are you ready? Today we're going to do a story about Texas chili. Oh, yeah. Ready? Here we go. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face is going to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, slap your knees. If you're happy and you know it, slap your knees. If you're happy and you know it, then your face is gonna show it. If you're happy and you know it, slap your knees. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! Happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face is gonna show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face is gonna show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. Ready? Open, shut them. Open them, shut them. Give a little clap. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Put them in your lap. Creep them, creep them, creep them, creep them right up to your chin. Open wide your smiling mouth, but do not let them in. Creep them, creep them, creep them, creep them past your cheeks and chin. Open wide your smiling eyes, peeking in. Woo! Creep them, creep them, creep them, creep them right down to your toes. Let them fly up in the air, bop you on the nose. Open, shut them, give a little clap. Open, shut them, put them in your lap. This is called Texas Chili Oh My, for Patricia Vermillion. It's going to seem very similar to another story you've heard before. Once upon a time, deep in the south of Texas, Mama Dello lived with her 3 little pups, Bluebonnet, Mockingbird, and Sweet Olive, in a cozy little den. Each day the pups grew bigger and bigger and bigger. Little pups, grunted Mama Dello, we're tighter than the bark on a tree. It's time to dig a den of your own. Now watch for Trickster Coyote with those buttery eyes and brown baggy tail. He will huff and howl and yelp and bark till he flattens your den and turns you into Texas chili. Texas chili, oh my, grunted the little pups. The next morning, Mama Dello sent Bluebonnet, Mockingbird, and Sweet Olive into the forest to dig dens of their own. By and by, Bluebonnet met Longhorn Lily carrying a load of pecan branches on her big, wide back. Howdy, Miss Lily, hissed Bluebonnet. Those branches look strong enough to keep out Trickster Coyote. May I have some of those branches to cover my den? Sounds kind of like 3 little pigs, doesn't it? Pecan branches to cover a den, oh my, thought Lily. But she gave the pup the branches anyway, and off Bluebonnet went to dig her den. Mockingbird met Javier Javelina hauling a load of ruby red grapefruit on his chubby round back. Howdy, Mr. Javier, sang Mockingbird. Those grapefruit look firm enough to keep out Trickster Coyote. May I have some of those grapefruits to cover my den? Ruby red grapefruits to cover a den, oh my, thought Javier. But he gave Mockingbird the grapefruit anyway, and off she went to dig her den. After a while, Sweet Olive met Horned-Toed Horace carrying a load of prickly pear cactus on his narrow, thorny back. Howdy, Mr. Horace, hissed Sweet Olive. That cactus is prickly enough to keep out Trickster Coyote. May I have some of that cactus to cover my den? Prickly pear cactus to cover a den, oh my, thought Horace. But he gave Sweet Olive the prickly pear cactus anyway, and off she went to dig her den. Down near the town of San Antonio, there is a place called Bracken Cave where millions of bats live. And somewhere near that cave, Trickster Coyote with the buttery eyes and round baggy tail was thinking about supper. I'm starving for some good old Texas chili, he barked. So out he set to find his key ingredient, armadillo. Before long, Trickster Coyote got a whiff of roasting pecans and 1 armadillo. The long, hairy nose sniffed its way to Bluebonnet's den covered with pecan branches. Little armadillo, let me in, howled Trickster Coyote. No, 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 grunted Bluebonnet. Not by the rings on my skin. Then I'll huff and I'll howl and I'll yelp and I'll bark until I flatten your den. So while Trickster Coyote was busy huffing and howling and yelping and barking, Bluebonnet ran out her back door right over to Mockingbird's den. By and by, Trickster Coyote got a whiff of freshly squeezed grapefruit and 2 armadillos. His long, hairy nose sniffed its way to Mockingbird's den. Little armadillos, let me in, howled Trickster Coyote. No, 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 grunted Bluebonnet and Mockingbird. Not by the rings on her skin. Then I'll huff and I'll howl and I'll yelp and I'll bark till I flatten your den. So while Trickster Coyote was huffing and howling, yelping and barking, Bluebonnet and Mockingbird ran out the back door right over to Sweet Olive's den. Zoom! Later on in the day, the sun was setting in the golden Texas sky. Trickster Coyote got a whiff of fragrant cactus flower and 3 armadillos. His long, hairy nose sniffed its way to Sweet Olive's den. Little armadillos, let me in, howled Trickster Coyote. No, 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 grunted Sweet Olive, Mockingbird, and Bluebonnet. Not by the rings on her skin. Then I'll huff and I'll howl and I'll yelp and I'll bark till I flatten your den. So Trickster Coyote huffed and he howled and he yelped and he barked and he even swung his baggy brown tail until he could not flatten the den. By this time, Trickster Coyote was breathing mighty heavy. His tail was throbbing, but he was determined to have Texas chili for supper. He jumped on the roof of the cactus den and yelled, I'm coming down this chimney to fix me some Texas chili. Quick as a wink, Trickster Coyote jumped down that chimney, tail and paws all covered with thorns, plopped right smack into a boiling pot of fire ants that Sweet Olive had cooked up for supper. Trickster Coyote's buttery eyes turned blood red as those boiling ants got a hold of him. Why, he was a huffing and a howling and a yelping and a barking and a wiggling his brown baggy tail right out of that pot. Ye doggies, giddy up, my tail's on fire, howled Trickster Coyote. Bluebonnet, Mockingbird, and Sweet Olive sat down to a delicious supper of spicy fire ant tacos with prickly pear cactus salsa, and for dessert, vanilla ice cream topped with sugar roasted pecans. The young pups would be safe for a while, and they raised their mugs of ruby red grapefruit juice and made a toast. Mamadilla would be so proud. And that, my friends, is the end of this story. But watch out for Trickster Coyote with the blood-red eyes and the brown baggy tail. And if you're not careful, he just might turn you into Texas chili. The end. What fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Story time is over, wave goodbye. Story time is over, wave goodbye. Though it seems like we've just begun, we'll be back for more fun. Story time is over, wave goodbye. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.